Hello, everybody. I think a couple of you are still watching ads, so this is going to be like a soft intro. Take my bag off. Goodness. Last couple times I've come in to start stream, it's been like I run up in my shoes with my bag and my jacket still on. Get everything going and then go, Alrighty, we're getting comfy now. Oh, good. The webcam's working. That's good. Hello. Yeah, it's fine. Happy Monday, everybody. If you're somewhere where it's a holiday today, I hope you're enjoying it. If you have the day off, I hope it's a good time for you. You look comfy. I feel comfy. Very comfy vibes today, yeah. You have delicious strawberries. Nice. What's the holiday? It was a bank holiday because we just had our coronation. So, a bunch of people got the day off today. Which means for people like Sam and I, we went, well, our kid doesn't have school, so what are we doing? That's why I had to start an hour later today. Timac gave you a shout out 21 hours ago. Oh, that's right, because we rated him. Oh, that's sweet. I like the shout out feature. It's very, like, non-intrusive, you know? It's just a little thing at the top that's like, here's a person that this streamer suggests. Do you want to follow them? And then you click it or not. It's nice. Yeah. They get shit right sometimes. They get shit right sometimes. The, like, being able to @ people in your title and have it actually go to their Twitch channel seems very obvious. Good addition. Good addition. The Corey Nash. Yeah, exactly. We had our Corey Nash on Saturday. So that happened. You can also hover over the @ and follow the channels. Things that make sense. Smart ways to stream. Except it's not in your control at all. You wait on Twitch to implement features that make life easier. Hello, guys. Hello, mods. I hope you guys are good. I like the feature that if someone you follow takes part as a guest on a stream, you get a notification. Is that specifically with the guest thing where you can like bring another stream onto your stream? Or I don't know how that stuff works. I've been very curious about it though. Oh, thanks, guys. Hope you're feeling better. Hope the flu/cold is totally gone now. I'm still coughing. A lot. My tummy is still not 100%, but I'm like drastically better every day. Yeah. I deep cleaned the living room because I got so annoyed with it today. So, you know, I had the energy to do that, which is a good sign. I came downstairs and I was like, Clark, we gotta do something about this fucking living room. And she was like, Mommy, there's not even anything on the floor. I was like, there's crumbs on the floor, Clarky. There's crummies on the floor, dude. Not only that, but let me show you my sweet child. She believes in a form of chaos that I just have to like accept as part of my life now. She was like, can I, because I was explaining that she's been really into the knitting machine lately. She was like, where is all the yarn? And I said, well, it's in this bag. She goes, okay, can I use one of the balls of yarn? I said, what are you going to use it for? And she was like, I'm going to pretend that it's like a pool. And I was like, okay. I turned my back and it really just turned into like 8 balls of yarn. And I sat on the couch last night, put on Star Trek, and desperately tried to untangle all of these balls of yarn. And I didn't finish it. I got through maybe like 3 or 4 balls and hid them. And hid them away. And Clark came downstairs and was like, my yarn pool is smaller. I was like, you bet your ass it is. Way smaller. And she was like, one of them was halfway rolled up. And I had given up because there was a knot in there that I just did not have the brain power to get through. And Clark was like, were you rolling up my wig? And I said, you just said that this was part of your pool. Was it also your wig? And she said, yes. The light blue yarn is my wig. So please don't roll up my wig. And I was like, okay. Is the light blue yarn yours now? And she was like, is the light blue yarn mine now? And I said, well, if this is going to be one of those situations where if I try to do anything with the light blue yarn, you lose your mind. I'm totally fine with having this light blue yarn be a casualty of the yarn pool war. That's fine. Would you like to have the light blue yarn now? And she was like, yes. I said, okay, that's fine. So I continue on doing my thing, right? Moving absolutely everything, vacuuming, mopping, the whole shebang. And a lot of times Clark likes to help with that sort of stuff. Today she was not feeling it, and that's totally fine. It's her day off too, dude. She, you know, if she just wants to curl up in a blankie and pretend that yarn is her wig and watch TV, that's fine. So she's hanging and she comes over and she goes, I need to make a wig. I said, great. With the yarn that we agreed is your wig, my love? And she goes, well, I've decided I'd really like a light and dark pink wig. This was not in the agreement, Clark. This was not the arrangement that we had. It's just one thing to the next. And I managed... This is going to sound sinister, but she really wanted to go outside and look for bugs, which I love and is very cute. But I really wanted to, like, get this cleaning thing done because I was in... You know when you're in the zone for it? I was in the zone to just get the living room done. I was like, please, God, let me just finish the fucking living room, right? Everything else can look like a bomb went off. I need the living room to be clean. We spend so much time in there. It stays tidy generally, but like I needed to vacuum and mop and vacuum the couch and like I just needed to get that done, right? So she kept occasionally being like, we're gonna look for bugs today. I was like, we absolutely are. Keep in mind though, I'm gonna finish this cleaning. And depending on how long that takes, I will then be going to work. So you might be looking for bugs with Daddy. And she was like, okay. It timed out. It timed out where I did not have time to look for bugs with her. So I got to go upstairs and be like, Sam, I see that you're awake. I love you very much. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're feeling spry. Your child is going to demand that you find bugs with her. And he was like, cool, thanks. Clark is getting used to, you know, those videos where people take babies that have never touched grass before and try to put them down to have them touch the grass, and they like desperately don't want to touch it. My sister and I used to watch those videos and be like, God, like, I think I was on grass before I could even be able to physically get away from grass, gamer babies. Yeah, gamer babies. And we were like, that's so wild that, and it makes sense. There are plenty of babies that get to a certain age in a city situation and don't have the opportunity to really touch a lot of grass, right? And grass can feel kind of crazy when you haven't touched it in a long time. And I'm sure that that's exacerbated if you've never touched it before in your life. So we were talking about that when Clark was like 6 months old or something. And I was reminded of it yesterday because Clark and I were running around in the field. She was kicking dandelion balls and making the seeds go everywhere. It was very cute. She was like, Mommy, you can blow on them, but watch what happens when you kick them. And she was just kicking the shit out of these dandelion bulbs and making the seeds go everywhere. And it was very fun. So, I was like, I'm going to do some stretching. And she was like, I want to do some stretching too. So I took my shoes and socks off and she was like, can I take my shoes and socks off? And I said, of course you can. So she took her shoes and socks off and immediately was like, what if I touch on something that's pokey? What if I touch on something that makes my feet sting? What if I step on a bug? I don't think I like this. I was like, okay, you can put your shoes and socks back on, honey. And she was like, no, it's fine. But just like stood in one spot and was scared to move around. And I was like, oh my gosh. My kid doesn't walk around on grass in bare feet ever. I'm realizing right now. It doesn't help that, yeah, queen behavior for sure. It doesn't help that I can sometimes be a little too like, watch out for this, watch out for the ones with stickers, watch out for the like baby nettles, watch out for the, whatever. And that's with shoes on, I squeezed too much out by accident. I lived in the countryside forever. I hate bugs and I'm squeamish while walking in grass. Yeah, I mean, the texture of grass on your feet is certainly a texture, And, in the year of our Lord, 2023, I think we can all look at each other and be like, if you hate the feeling of grass, it doesn't mean you're a tiny baby, right? Like, just means you hate the texture of grass on you. That's fine. When I was a kid, I was warned not to walk on the grass without shoes. That was mostly because of the dog poop. Yeah. That was the biggest thing that I was like, man, I really hope I don't step in some chicken poop. I'll be upset. I'll be upset if I step in chicken poop, but otherwise, I think it's probably fine. There are a lot of bees out right now, so, that's something to be aware of. And, when it's not cut grass, when it's like really tall grass, you just don't know what kind of bug you're going to step on, but yeah, nettles are no joke. If you step on nettles with your whole foot, dude, that happened with my nephew. My nephew was running around out there, took his sandals off, started running, and then immediately screamed and ran back to the house and was like, my foot! I was like, no, buddy! He like collapsed onto the ground, was holding his foot. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. We don't really have anything that's going to help with that, I don't think. I think you're just going to have to wait it out. And he was like, can I have some candy? His mom was like, oh my God. I was like, can I please sit on the couch and watch TV and eat candy, please? As far as I'm concerned, of course you can. Right? Yeah. Use the moment, dude. Absolutely. Speaking of queen behavior, recently Clark has been walking around with her hand on her hip all the time. And Sam and I keep being like, what is this walk that you're doing? She just walks around like this all the time. It's very cute. I don't know where she got it from. I don't know why she does that. But in the last, like, week and a half or so, all the time when she walks around, it's like this. I'm like, where are you going? Where are you going, princess? Strutting. Is the music at an okay level? Is it too loud? I don't see glitter. It's magic. I know. I'm free. I almost made a huge mistake yesterday, as some of you will recall from when I streamed yesterday. Yesterday, Clark made it went from looking at stuff under the microscope to her making like a weird swamp thing that we put in the freezer. And we were like, is there anything else we want to add to this water? And I was almost like, oh, we should put glitter in it. And then I was like, no. Music is good. It's not too loud. It's good. It seems fine. Fantastic. Oof. Yeah. My brother. I'm going to put up a spoiler finger just in case. If you don't want to hear a running through the woods and getting hurt story, you can mute until my finger goes down. This is about my brother when he was a kid after we moved to the farm. Okay, so I was not born yet, but when my parents first bought the farm that I grew up on, Jared went running through the woods and fell on a machete. Like a rusty machete that was just out in the woods, and split his whole arm open and had to get rushed to the hospital, and he still has like a huge scar all along his arm. So I think about that every time I'm in the woods. So yeah, stories like that really stick with you. It's terrifying. Anyways, now that you're all unmuted, don't run in the woods. Don't run in the woods. Mm-hmm. The farm that my dad bought, I say my dad because it was one of those really cute situations where my dad went to Oregon to like scope out places to see if they would want to move there. And my dad saw this piece of property and just made an offer and then called my mom and was like, guess what? We bought a farm. And my mom was like, pardon? So anyways, it was literally a shack on like a huge piece of property. It used to be an office, I believe. It used to be an office for the local rodeo. It's a great little house now. It's a great house. They built most of that house onto the shack that was there. And like landscaped a lot of that property instead. Not a lot of the property. There's almost 90 acres, but like, you know, a couple acres of it is like really nicely maintained and stuff. And it's beautiful now, but like, I can't imagine being my mom and being like, okay, sure, I'll move into a shack that's falling apart in the middle of Oregon with our children. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That sounds great. Sage Topian! What's up, dude?
Say hello to your wife for me.
Yeah, the only injury that I ever got, and I won't be gruesome about this. I'll keep it very brief. The only injury that I ever got that was like a rush to the hospital injury is I made a huge fort out of wood when I was a kid, and I insisted on showing it to my parents in the dark. I was like, I made this fort and I need to show it to you, but it was pitch black outside. I was like, come on, we're going outside. I'm showing you this fort, and I fell on a piece of wood and cut my nose. And so my dad and I hilariously have matching scars. Mine, I got it early enough in my life that you can barely see it. It is like almost non-existent. I can see it because I know where it was, you know? But my dad has, like, as he's gotten older, you know, your face starts to like scrunch up a bit more. As his nose has scrunched up more and more, you can really see where the scar is on him. So I keep wondering if that'll happen to me as well. But there's a part of me, now that I'm older, that's like, it's kind of cute that my dad and I have matching scars on our noses. I have no idea how my dad got his. Probably like a fist fight or something ridiculous. Nothing as wholesome as making a fort. But my dad's wild. My dad's a wild man. Hi, Dodger. I watched your YouTube back in the day. First baby is due in 4 weeks. Any advice? Oh my gosh. Well, welcome. I hope you're doing good. Congratulations on the baby. Gosh, any advice? Whenever somebody asks this, I always think to myself, I don't want to say what everybody else says, which is like, it's going to go by so fast. You know, try to enjoy the good things. The bad things won't last. You know, it's going to be an incredible time and you're going to learn so much. That is the thing that I try to always say, that I still say to myself all the time, is to remember that not only is your kiddo learning to be a human being, but you are also learning to be a parent to that human, right? It is okay to make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen because you're learning. And it's okay to be learning, right? As long as you're always trying to like figure out how to do things, how to do right by your kiddo, right? You're gonna do great. Somebody said sleep any minute that you can. I find that advice never really makes any sense. The only reason I say that, yes, you'll have trouble getting enough sleep. That is absolutely a thing. So I understand why that advice comes out. But you're also going to find that when your kid is asleep, you're going to get this weird adrenaline rush of like, oh my God, I can do something for me now, right? So don't feel bad for not sleeping, I would say. Don't feel bad for not sleeping. Because you'll have moments where you're like, oh my God, I can just be a human now while this thing is asleep, you know? It's all wild. We're all just doing our best, and you're going to learn so much, and it's going to be very fun. And it'll be really frustrating sometimes too, but for me, the good has always outweighed the bad, even at the worst times. So I wish that for you as well. Hi, Brett. How are you, bud? Just woke up, a sleepy gamer. Some would claim sleeping counts as something for me. Sure, totally. I found that I don't think enough people talked with me about this sort of thing that happens where you spend all this time. I don't know if you're the one who is having the baby, or if you're going to be, you know, a grown-up for the baby. But you spend all of these months with your body like a transformer turning into a totally different fucking thing, right? Like I did not, my body was not my body anymore by the time I had this baby, right? Like everything was so different. Things tasted different. I felt different. And my body now is not what my body was like before having the baby, right? There are permanent changes that happen. I didn't understand this sort of culture around like the snapback and shit of like, oh my gosh, you just had the baby, but you look just like you did before you had the baby. Like this obsession with being able to get right back to how you were before, even if that's impossible. I used to be really judgmental of that attitude. And I don't think it's a healthy attitude. I would like to say that up front. I don't think that's a healthy attitude. But I understand why it happens now. And it's because after you've had the baby, there is this desperate, and I think that this can contribute to like the sort of depression that happens after having a baby too. There's this desperate need to feel like yourself again. To have like control over your body again, because there is so much time there where you have no control, where it's, you know, your body's just doing what it needs to do to have a baby, right? And it's months of that, months and months and months of that, of just like feeling out of control in a lot of ways, even if you have an easy pregnancy, right? And then you have the baby and you're like, oh my God, it's just me again, right? Like it's just me in here now. And even if it's subconscious, I think you start to do things or start wanting to do things to like regain agency over yourself. And it's hard because the baby is very demanding, right? So all of this is circling back to, yes, sleeping is a great use of your time, but, I found that when Clark was asleep, I had this need to like do something for me, to like stay awake and just exist. It's like as just Brooke, right? As just a person. Just be like, I'm not a mom right now. I'm not a baby making factory right now. I'm a human. I'm a human, and I want to sit and stare at the wall and have a coffee until my kid wakes up, right? Like that's enough for me to just feel like a human being for a few minutes. So true. It was wild. I have a 9-month-old now and I'm still slowly adjusting. Totally. Yeah. I understand where the need to like reclaim comes from. But I think the expectation to do that quickly is unhealthy. So I try to make a point of not, I think people should just like not mention one another's weight anyway, but like I try to make a point of not mentioning how other moms in my life look, you know? Occasionally people will say things like, oh my gosh, you know, you've really lost the baby weight and all that sort of stuff. I will never ever say that shit because you know, we're all doing shit at our own pace. I was actually really sad when my face wasn't round anymore. I looked so jolly, dude. When I was about to pop out Clark, I had such a jolly vibe. My face was round. It was so great. Do you feel like the reclamation happens eventually, or is it never quite the same? I feel like Clark is 5 now. Clark is starting to become her own person. And is able to do a lot of things for herself. I think I have made the most strides toward feeling more like myself in the last like year or so. Not that I haven't enjoyed all of the years that I've had her. Of course I have, you know, but in terms of like feeling kind of more like I can get back into being Brooke the majority of the time instead of being Clark's mom the majority of the time. And those things overlap a lot, right? But like those like solo identities, I feel like they're overlapping in a more healthy way now. Healthy for me. I was fine with being primarily Clark's mom all this time. Cause human babies can't do shit. They can't do anything. They can't do anything, dude, you know? And I find that most of what Clark needs from me now is emotional support, right? While she's like learning about things, making friends, experiencing new things, understanding her feelings, understanding empathy, all of that. What she wants out of quality time from us for the most part is like, she wants like connection, like emotional connection, you know? I find that much easier to do, I guess, than everything that came before that, you know? Moving abroad and COVID probably also didn't help trying to feel more like yourself. That's true. I honestly forget about that stuff sometimes. Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool. Being a parent is extremely rewarding. And seeing your kiddo like thrive. Or just like come into their own, you know, is really fun. Her niece is like that. Our niece will not say bye to anyone. And it took Clark a really long time to be okay with that. Because Clark would be like, I didn't get to say goodbye to her. We'd be like, I know, honey, but she's hiding. Because she doesn't want to do the goodbye thing. Because it upsets her, you know? So we yelled a goodbye. We blew kisses. And we're leaving now, you know? I hid because I didn't want to do the hello thing. I used to do that. I don't know why. We talked about that before. Even as an adult, I have trouble with the like, hey everybody sort of interaction, you know? During Thanksgiving, when everyone would show up, there would be an intense part of me that was like, I'm gonna go to my room and let them come in and get settled, and then I'm gonna come downstairs so that like weird moment of like, hi, hey, how are you? So that I don't have to do that. And that's what's family, you know? My niece will say bye if you're just going to get something from another room. That's cute. All my nieces and nephews are just little... they're just feral. They just chase you. If one of us... If you're playing with the kids and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go... grab a coffee or something, or I'm gonna go talk to Nanny, they'll be like, no. And you like try to leave and they just chase you. It's adorable. I love it. I'm not being sarcastic. I actually love it. I think it's so funny. Shout out to anybody who has ever been like, who has ever made a game like too fun. So fun that the kids like desperately didn't want you to stop playing the game, but you were like over it like half an hour ago. I started doing a game. All of the kids started putting stuffed animals under their shirts and being like, we're all pregnant, right? All of them. And I thought that it would be funny to pretend to be a doctor. So I was like, hello, it's me. I'm the doctor. I'm here to deliver your babies. And that it was game over. It became a constant cycle of like me helping one kid have all of their babies, then the next kid have all of their babies, the next kid have all of their babies. And then by the time I was done with all of the kids, they would have shoved more toys under their shirts again and come back around. So they were just all having babies out of their shirts for like 40 minutes. And I was like, gang, I think we've had enough babies. And they were like, no! I think you have plenty of children to take care of now. I'm going to take my leave. And they were like, no! Just one more baby. But then all of the kids were like, yeah, just one more, but for like each of us. And I was like, that's another fucking 15 minutes, kids. Like, I can't do this. You guys are gonna have to figure out how to get all these kids into your play, your little play prams. How many prams do we got in here? Not enough for all these children. You gotta figure this out. I'm the doctor. I'm not part of that. That's a you thing. Explain to them that they need to consider the current economy. Kids, when discussing ways to save the earth, having children is considered to be one of the things that is the most taxing on our planet. So, you might want to consider that before having your next 4 stuffed dogs. Nancy is typically that auntie that will start playing with the kids and like has a hard time escaping because they're all like, Auntie Nancy, you're so crazy, and they like won't let her leave. She's like, save me. There's a legendary clip of Sips joking about bicep curling kids. You got to be careful with kids. They just keep wanting to do it over and over. And then when you can't do it anymore, you're the worst dad of all time. Oh my God. Yeah. It's with Sam, it's always activities where it's like, I'm going to lay on your legs and then I need you to lift me on your legs over and over and over again. He's like, I cannot do that forever. I will get to a point where I can't lift my legs anymore. And she's like, what do you mean? My boys liked when I flipped them upside down to let them walk on the ceiling. I don't know if Sam's ever done that with Clark. She would love that. Who needs a home gym when you have a child? I know. Back in the day when I would show off my shoulders, when it was hot as balls. We're getting there again. Occasionally people would come in and be like, your shoulders look ripped. And I was like, yeah, it's because I have a 4-year-old and I have been picking her up every day for 4 years now. Yeah, our heating is you wouldn't know it. Our house is humid every morning. The heat is completely off. We're already, it's beginning. It's starting, dude. I'm almost 30 and I don't have kids yet. I can barely keep up with my cousin's kids. I'm concerned. I mean, in case no one has said this to you before, as a reminder, you don't have to have kids. It's okay to just be like a fun grown up with lots of kids in your life and get your kid quota that way. You don't have to have children. No one has to have children. If you're not like 100% in, don't have them, you know? They're a lot. They are so much, dude. They're a lot. It's so much. But if you really want kids, if you know that you really want kids, you're just like concerned about all of the things that go along with having kids. Yeah, it is a lot, but it's super fun. If you 100% want to be a parent or want to be, you know, a grown up for a kid, yeah, it's really rewarding. It's lovely. I love it. But I would never in a million years look at somebody who's like, I don't know if I want to have kids, and be like, you have to have kids. It blows my mind that people do that. Yeah. Are you 100%? Is your partner 100%? Is your other partner 100%? We're being inclusive here. Are all of your partners 100% in? Are you 100% in? Then you're good. Is your kid 100% in? That's the hard part. Don't have to have kids. Just be kind to kids. Yeah. Aw.
Hi, Telly.
First time seeing the term flesh tuber as a tag, it got me chuckling. Dude, can we watch this clip? Actually, no, I shouldn't watch this clip because Tomato's chat is cursed. But if you want to see a clip, I'm going to keep it forever. There's a clip that you can find in our Discord under stream clips. Timbre Majoran, our mod, put it in there. And it is Tomato talking about terrible tags that people have. And someone mentioned flesh tuber, which is a tag that we have used for a long time. You could just play the audio. You know what? That is so true. We're just going to play the audio. Hold on. Hold on. I'll play it for you. It's truly cursed. No, come on. There we go.
I have seen the darkest parts of our site here in the tag section, but I'm asked about brain latency. Flesh tuber tag. That is an unacceptable tag. That is unacceptable. That's untenable. Untenable. If I was like a staff member on Twitch and I scrolled by that, I would have to actually consult the terms to be like, that can't be allowed, right? Like I'd spend like 30 minutes trying to figure out if I can put a stop to this.
All of chat is just people like, just at Dodger next time. No, I think this was just people talking about like weird tags that streamers have. I don't think he knows that that's a tag that I use all the time. I think somebody was just in his chat and was like, here's a good tag, flesh tuber. And he was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. It's good. It's good. Skin tuber would be just as cursed. Yeah, I think, to me, flesh tuber is the whole package. It's all flesh, isn't it? Skin tuber implies something weirder to me. Honorable mentions for meat tuber. I think we did meat tuber at one point. That's another one that's weird, though. Flesh tuber, I think, encapsulates what we truly are, There could be a virtual being under the skin. Yeah, the skin is there, but what else? Yes, the Doctor Who character that's a stretched out sheet of skin. Literally one of the things I would thought about. Yeah. I don't know where I first heard the term meat space, but it was a long time ago. And I have taken to it like oil to bread. I don't know. But it's good. It's a good term, meat space. Wasn't it under the pandemic? Meat space is a term I've been using since my early 20s in school. It's in reference to you have the digital space and then meat space, which is where your actual body is, the meat of yourself, right? So yeah. Digital space versus meat space. There's a good album called A Laughing Death in Meat Space from 2018. Thank you. I didn't want to Google meat space. No problem. I got you. Did I tell you guys that my kid did had her first show and tell and decided to bring Big Teddy, who is her teddy bear that is the size of me. I tried so hard to convince her to do anything else. I was like, honey, it's going to be really hard for you to like bring this to do, because I can't come in with you. So you're going to have to take Big Teddy wherever he's got to go for show and tell. And she was like, it'll be fine. So she brought in Big Teddy. And then when she got home, I was like, they were like, yeah, make sure that, you choose what your kid is going to bring and try to ask them some questions that other people might ask them. And I was like, okay. So I had asked Clark all kinds of questions about Big Teddy to try and like get her ready for this. And then she came home and I was like, how did it go? And she was like, good. I was like, cool. What kind of questions were you asked? And she was like, I don't remember. Okay. Classic post-school answers. Yeah. Show and tell is such a foreign concept to me. Yeah. I always really liked show and tell. The the basic concept is just like share with us a part of your life or something that you care about from home, right? My absolutely like crushing it show and tell was when I was 7 and I brought an entire litter of puppies in because our dog had just had puppies, and I brought all of them in, and all the kids got to pet and play with puppies. And I don't think I could have ever done a better show and tell than that. Clark is 5. She just turned 5. You can do that? Yeah, I mean, in our situation, it was such a small school. My dad was able to just kind of pull up with a truck that had all the puppies in it, bring the puppies into the classroom. I was like, these are my puppies. And they were like, oh my God. And everybody played with the puppies. And then my dad was like, cool, I'm leaving now. Picked up the puppies and left. So, bringing in puppies is cheating. It's not cheating. You can bring in pets. But yeah, a lot of times, like, especially little kids, will bring in a toy that they really love, So I think it's really cute. She brought in Big Teddy and Little Teddy. She insisted on bringing them both. And the lady at the front door, when I brought her to school, kind of half-heartedly was like, so which one are we doing show and tell with? And Clark was like, both of them. It has to be both of them. And she was like, okay. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. It's like, thank you for the effort. When I was a kid, one of my classmates brought a tarantula for show and tell. When I was older, an older version of show and tell was one of the kids in class bringing their snake, and the teacher was freaked out about it. But yeah, school's wild. It's a whole thing. Oh, we never had show and tell when I was in school, but my nephew's school got more restrictions after one kid brought his uncle's prosthetic leg and didn't tell the uncle he was taking it. Oh my God. His poor uncle. Holy shit. Yeah, there was a hamster in my high school science lab, the one that I did anatomy and phys in. And the teacher, everybody called Mac. And so the hamster's name was Cheese. It was very cute. So in the class were Mac and Cheese. Adorable. When I was on dance team, we held a tournament at our high school. And it was a whole thing. It was a whole big thing. And we had to put teams up in classrooms, right? I've told this story before, but it's still funny, and I'm going to tell it again. So, all of the different teams were assigned to different classrooms in the high school. We had made sure the day before that all of the classrooms were ready to go, right? And one of the teams went to their assigned room, and they were like, "It smells weird in here." I'm gonna spoil you on this ahead of time. This was Mac and Cheese's room, which, if you'll recall, I just said we did anatomy and physiology in. So they go into the room and they're like, "It smells weird in here. What is going on in here?" And they're like trying to get situated, but they cannot. Everybody's just like, "It smells so weird in here." Realized that between the time that the room had gotten sorted and the time that these kids had shown up, there had been a delivery. I'm trying to think of how to say this in a way where I don't have to spoiler finger it. There had been a delivery of things with the intention of them being, cut open and observed. A bunch of boxes of them. And so these poor girls were in this room trying to get ready for a tournament and realized halfway through that process that there were just tons and tons of boxes of bodies. Not human bodies, but yeah. And so they went to the nearest person that they could find, and they were like, "Hi, can we please switch rooms?" Cut to they also ran a tournament out of their school, and when we went to their school for their tournament, they had drawn a bunch of animals with like X's for eyes and put like little paper animals all over the place. It was so morbid. But at the time we were like, holy shit. But yeah, we really fucked up there. I felt very bad. I wasn't involved in that process at all. None of that was my fault, but I was like, I cannot imagine going to someone's school and being like, "All right, gang, we're going to dance." And there being like animal cadavers in boxes in the corner and nobody mentioning it or anything. It was so weird. My mother-in-law told me about a raptor rescue that came with a vulture. They had to keep people back because if it was startled, it would projectile vomit. My mother-in-law, being the teacher, asked if that was ever a problem. They said only on the day the alarms were tested. Oh my God. Shit's wild. Shit's wild. It also didn't help that we were like a backwoodsy school, right? So I'm sure that they were like, these fucking farm kids. Like, shit. It's weird to me, schools in the U.S. to do that on biology lessons. We don't have it here. You don't have what, like, oh my God, what's the term that I'm thinking of? Dissections? You don't do dissections? Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's filling it in now. It was always my favorite part. Not because I'm like a morbid bitch, but like I just found it really fascinating. I loved the dissections. Dissections, whatever. You all right? No, I've been coughing for days. I specifically took anatomy and physiology because I found that really fascinating. And that's mostly what that class was, is like studying bodies and then dissecting bodies to like observe the actual like musculature and the skeleton and all of that sort of stuff. I loved that. But, you know, anytime that sort of a thing was happening in class and it was just part of like the normal curriculum, there was, to be fair, there was like a, you know, they would send papers home and parents would like, yes, it's fine for my kid to do this, or no, you know, and you would hope that at home the parents would talk with their kid and be like, is this something you feel comfortable doing? Which was the point of the paper, right? Like, not just do you, the parents, care if your kid does this, but like, is your kid okay to do this? And you could opt out of it. You didn't have to do it. I'm really glad that I did it because it wound up being like a really, really interesting thing for me. But I totally understand that not everybody's going to feel comfortable doing that, you know? So, I did appreciate that despite being at a backwoods farming school, that they still were like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, you know? Anywho, we should move on to a different topic because it's hard to like discuss this without it being like kind of graphic or gross. Shall we work on our schedule? Let's make our schedule for the week. Have I tried the coffee and olive oil? The poop potion? No, I have not. If I have trouble pooping later, though, I'll definitely do the coffee and olive oil. I can't imagine another reason to drink that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was ready to go, dude. Oh, no, moral. I have so many weird little things now. Hi. I now have like 2 different versions of VitoTube. I have a capture that's called Moral for like the 3D VTuber. It's a whole thing. I need to put them in their own folder, dude. Okay. Case of the Golden Idol. We are going to be doing today. So. No! Golden Idol DLC. Put that there. We have no Hellions today. And for the next 2 weeks, I believe. No Hellions. We do have Deadbeats this week, I believe. Is this Sunday? Wait, let's change the date first off. 8th through the 14th. No, we don't have anything on Sunday either. So Deadbeats is the only evening thing going on this week. Okay. I'm gonna delete some of these pictures on here really quick. It stores every picture that you upload unless you delete them, and a lot of these I only use once because it's for the schedule, and so occasionally I have to like go through and do a big cleanse. Just get rid of a bunch of shit. Why did I have an American flag? Oh, because we were going to America. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh, not that. Oh my god, I haven't done this in forever. There's so many. There's so many. Okay. Cool. Okay, delete all of these. Yep. No Return of Obra Dinn. Have they added to Return of Obra Dinn? If they have, that's pretty wild. Okay, let's bring up our suggestions list. Oh my gosh, someone literally just suggested a thing. Okay, we've got that open, and I wish the demo stuff had lasted longer. There were some demos you would have enjoyed. I know, yeah. When I heard that there was a whole demo thing that we missed out on, I was a little bummed, but it is what it is. Are all of those demos off the menu now? They're just all gone. Today is the last day. Got it. Oh, Cassette Beasts is out. I would love to play that. We can play that tomorrow. Cassette Beasts. Oh, here. Our music is gone. Let's get the music back on while we're hanging. Okay, Cassette Beasts for Tuesday. I'm trying to think if there's anything weird going on this week that's gonna, like, interfere with any of these. We'll assume that our next laptop stream is gonna happen on Friday. Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out of early access today. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Oh my god, come on. Oop, that might be too big. Cassette Beasts. Yeah. Darkest Dungeon 2. I'm so curious if Darkest Dungeon 2 is going to do well. I haven't played it since that first time that I played the like early access. I tried the demo and it's not for me. I struggled with it. But I love the team, so I'm like, do I think that they could pull it out? Yeah, I do. Where's my girl? There she is. I guess I could just do this. But my plague doctor, she's gone. Since the first time you roasted it. I didn't mean to roast it, but like... I just want her in there. It's fine. Whatever. Fuck it. Okay. Okay. Golden Idol DLC, Cassette Beasts, Darkest Dungeon 2. Oh yeah. Crypto miner simulator. Yep. That sounds like a me game. When is this coming out? Is it today? It is today. Okay. Cool. I'm trying to remember if we liked Void Train or not. Yeah, we played Apex with Boone and Brett, and it was very fun. It was honestly really, really fun. And then today, I was talking with a couple of people about learning how to play Fortnite because my nephew really wants to play Fortnite with me, and I don't know how to play that. And so we were joking and also like not joking about me learning how to just absolutely crush a 7-year-old in Fortnite. Yeah, I would not play in build mode. I don't know what mode my nephew plays. I assume it's not build mode, but who knows? Apex was an amazing chaotic mess. I loved how many people were coming in like, I am garbage at this game and I really feel like I found my people. Okay, let's look at our suggestions list. Ravenlock. Where do you play Ravenlock? Omen Sight. An action murder mystery game. In order to prevent the apocalypse, you're fated to repeat the last day of the world until it is saved. Investigate clues, fight enemies, solve the murder of the godless priestess. Goddamn. Oh my god, are you a mouse? Or is there just a mouse character? It's fine either way. This looks cool. Oh, we've done the Stanley Parable. We've done the Stanley Parable before. A long time ago. The Duke's Brett Boone Gremlin energy was top tier. I do love that pretty much any time I play with Brett and I immediately like go into this dynamic of like a brother-sister dynamic of just like lovingly bitching at each other. They had an expansion? A Stanley Parable expansion? Okay. Can you link where you're checking out these games? So I'm currently looking at, there's a game suggestions spreadsheet. So if you use your channel points to suggest a game, there's a spreadsheet that all of those go to. So I'm glancing through that to fill in blanks. The Golden Idol DLC came out last week, and I love that game, so that's why I want to play that DLC today. Cassette Beasts was on my wish list for Steam, and so that's why I knew about that. Darkest Dungeon 2, chat just informed me, is coming out of early access, and the original Darkest Dungeon is one of my favorite games, so I definitely want to check that out. So beyond that, we're just filling in blanks with chat suggestions now. Omen Sight looks cool. I'll try that out. Only one D&D show. I know. What is this life of mine? Look at this. She said, I want my evenings, and manifested it by having terrible fucking internet at the farm. Maybe make it a little smaller. Okay. All right. We could do Apex again. But what did we want to... I'm trying to think. I feel like there was a thing that we had talked about doing for this next laptop stream. If you haven't watched the like NVIDIA laptop streams yet, we've basically been trying to stress test it in different ways. Which is not exactly what they asked me to do, but it's been fun doing that. They sent me like a really high-powered little laptop and asked me to do some streams on it. You know, hashtag sponsored, whatever. So the first stream, we had all my normal stuff plugged into the laptop, streamed from it, and played Returnal, which is like a really demanding game. And then last week, which was our second one, I had a VTuber program running and tried to play Apex, which I don't think was a good test for that because apparently Apex is notoriously terrible to try and stream anyway. So the question of like, can it handle running a VTuber and a game at the same time while streaming? I don't feel like we answered that question really. So I'd like to try that again. Summer was saying it would be interesting because there's apparently ways where like you can have like other VTubers like on your screen that isn't the same as like the Fujitech sort of thing where you like browser grab each other. It's similar, but it's not like exactly the same thing. And so Summer was like, it would be interesting to see if like you could have your VTuber and other people's little VTubers on there as well if you were playing with other VTubers and then a game. So we could try to do the VTuber thing again and just choose a game that is like not nearly as intense. Are you available Wednesday night? Oh, right. What time did you want to do that? Same time as before? I was dead the next day last week. So I'm trying to decide. But it's the last one, right? Or I guess the last one before your Kickstarter ends. I should be fine. I should be able to do that. Yeah. I'll just try and sleep before. Play Crisis 3. That'll definitely kill it. Yikes.
Yeah. I can be Coco.
Hold on. Wait, now I need a Coco picture. I say it's for the Kickstarter, but I need more Coco. Okay, hold on. Where is... Wait, there it is! Oh my god, I literally had it right there. I was like, I know that I grabbed the Coco underwear picture. I don't know if that reads well enough. I'll just grab Coco's normal image. Hold on. Where are you, Coco? I don't think I've put Coco in my D&D folder. Mistake. Oh! There she is. She was not in my D&D folder. I was correct. There we go. Cute girl. A cute girl who just wants to be a dredger. No. There we go. This is what I wanted to do.
Yay! Coco!
All right. There we go. What is this program? It's Canva. Oh my god. Canva's changed my life. It's amazing. It's just Canva. And you can just drag and drop pictures into a schedule. It's awesome. So every Monday we just make a schedule together. So everybody knows what's going on and they can like suggest games and stuff. And yeah, it's been working really well for me. I don't have access to Twitter anymore, so I don't tweet it anymore. But we still put it on the Discord and stuff for people to check out later. And yeah, it's fun. How come Twitter? It's a two-factor American phone issue, but like, I hate Twitter, so I'm kind of fine with it. Just sort of like, well, maybe I just don't exist on Twitter anymore. It's very funny because the last tweet that I did was something along the lines of, guys, I'm going to try to be better about not filling up your feed with shit. And then I just fucking vanished and have never tweeted again. So, like, I don't know. It's, you know, the monkey's paw curls. Yeah. So, there it is. I was talking, though, yesterday, I think, about how I had a phone call with my mom, and she was like, you have got to get back on Twitter. It can't just be me that has no idea when you're streaming anymore. And chat was like, I've never heard of a mom that is the age of your mom telling their kid that they need to be on social media more. But, like, she understands streaming enough to be like, you can't just vanish off of social media. Like, it's an important part of your business, which I'm like, I get that, but I also fucking hate Twitter, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just never go on it again. Okay. May 8th through the 14th. Golden Idol DLC today, Cassette Beast tomorrow, Darkest Dungeon 2 on Wednesday, as well as the last fishing session Brett's going to do before his Kickstarter ends. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter, the fishing Kickstarter that he's doing, it's great. This will be at 1 a.m. So let me, okay, hold on. Yeah, sure. Welcome, little one. Nope, not really. I don't want this part. Yeah, delete that part. 1 a.m. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Hold on. This is the hard part. Anytime I have to, like, put text on top of a picture, it's really difficult for it to, like, look like it makes any sense. Glow. 1 a.m. I don't know. Is that clear enough? It seems like it does not match anything at all. I can change like the color of it, but it looks like I am. It does. Is that better? Okay. I'll also copy that over here for 1 p.m. because I never specify that on the sad one. Sure. Okay. Graphic design is my passion. I actually really hate this color palette. The last time that I changed the color palette of the schedule, I was not a fan of it. But I like sunk so much time into trying to make it work that I just left it. I need to change it again. Okay. So now we're good, right? Omen Sight Thursday with Deadbeats in the evening. Friday. What are we playing on Friday? What are we playing on Friday? I can't just leave this man's face on here twice. Let's see. What are some more chill, not quite as intensive games that they have on the suggestions list for the Nvidia stuff? Most of it is AAA titles or like bigger games because they want to show off like, you know, the deep learning super sampling and all of that sort of stuff. So I get that. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is like Returnal, Dead Space, Cyberpunk, Dying Light 2, Hitman, Spider-Man, Fortnite, Apex, Valorant, Overwatch, Guardians of the Galaxy, Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Just like guzzlers. So I just don't want to put us in the same position again where I have to turn moral off again, you know? There's a Hitman roguelite mode. I've never played the new Hitman games. Is there a list somewhere? I have a list on my brief for the sponsored content. You can enter that mode immediately. So if I buy Hitman, I can just play that mode. I don't have to do anything else. Okay. We could try Hitman. Would it be, I mean, I know you guys are going to say no and it's fine, but like, would it be strange to be playing Hitman as a mushroom person? And I guess does it matter? It would be amazing. Okay, great. Okay. Let's grab a picture for Hitman then, I guess. Hitman World of Assassination. Is that the new stuff? Hitman Assassination is the last 3 games in one. Oh, interesting. Okay. Poison only runs? What, because I'm a mushroom? That's good. Cassette piece looks so good. Yeah, I think so too. It's been on my wish list, so I was excited to see that it's out. All right. Wait, I'm also gonna put a little moral on there just for goofs. Come here, kiddo. Oh, that's right. They can't both be on the image at the same time. What if I put this out here as though it's one of these little images? Just make him a little tiny, just a little guy. Just a little guy having a good time. No! What does it mean? We know what it means. There. Great. Great. Okay. Sure. possible scares and horror on Darkest Dungeon, Golden Idol. Should we put it on Hitman? Okay. Hitman has lots of deaths, but is it a horror game? Is it a game that is like potentially unsettling? I don't think violence necessitates the skull really, but like body horror, like games that would classify themselves as horror is normally what we would put them on. I put it on the Golden Idol DLC because some of the Golden Idol stuff is like visually unsettling. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it off of there. Omen Sight, I don't think it applies for either. Okay. I think this is good. I think we're good here. So, yeah. I think we've done it. Download. And then I'll set it as my offline screen and send it to my mods so they can add it to the Discord. Great. Thanks for your help, gang. I like doing the schedule on stream. It's been nice. Okie doke. Cool. This is an important thing. Did I put my key in for the DLC? I don't think I did. Of course I didn't. I have a sponsored thing this week that I totally forgot about. But I don't know what time it's happening. I'll have to sort that out with Sam. It's a co-op thing with Sam. Where is the code for this? Here we go. Does anyone else feel like searching for things in Discord is a nightmare sometimes? Okay. We did it. We got it, gang. I literally was like, search in this channel for just the word golden. And it was like, I've never seen that word in my life. And then I was like, search for golden idol. In another channel, they talked about it. I was like, nope, it's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking about that channel. If you'll recall, in the search engine, I'm asking about this channel where I know I have discussed this game with people. So could you please? Please. Goodness gracious. There's a game community that uses Discord for its mod repository, and it's such a pain. It's just, if you need to easily find something in Discord, nightmare. I've been putting off for so long. For the longest time, I hadn't really used the search engine for much, so I thought that it was going to be fine. But, I've been meaning to go back through. Those of you who have seen the fan art for Deadbeats, you're going to be like, I've been meaning to go back through and save a bunch of Deadbeats fan art that I haven't saved yet. And, like, when we first started Deadbeats, I was like, it's fine because I'll just search for the beginning, because it's always noted in the channel, in the fan art channel. It's always noted, like, this is the beginning of fan art for Deadbeats session 1 or whatever. So I kept thinking, it's fine because I'll just look for that message. What message? What message? What do you mean? No one's ever written that before. God. It's a nightmare. all the effort these poor mods put into being like, this is the beginning of Deadbeats fan art for this day, so that if someone wants to look at it later, they can find it. And then if you try to be the I want to look at it later guy and search for that, it's like, are you sure? Me? Are you sure? I know the username thing is going to be wild. But it is what it is. Alrighty. I've never seen this man in my life. Okay. We're about 2 hours in, homies. Let's take a super quick break, run a couple ads. You guys can do words on stream. And then we'll play the Golden Idol DLC. Yeah. Absolument. Somebody's like, that's not how you pronounce that. Shh. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Words. It's time for words. Everybody buckle up. After this, after this, we'll do one more. Good God. Go on then. I know I said that after this we would stop, but you guys might be able to get to level 19 again. Do you want to take a crack at level 19 again? Because that was wild. Yeah, we gotta go for it. FYI, for anybody who was not here when we hit level 19, all of the answers are just question marks. So it's like impossible to tell what's going on. It extremely difficult, but let's go, gang. Meep. Only skipped 2. Do you still want to go for it? Oh my god. Well done. Just 2 more. Just 2 more, and then we're in hell together. 1 more. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I believe in you. You can do this. I will sit back like a weird emperor and watch you work. The answers are now hidden. Oh! I'll try to do recon for you. Okay, let's see. So the hidden letter is an A. Hidden letter is A. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Oh, guys! Guys! You're doing it! You're doing it! Oh my god, 1 left. Oh my god! Guys, well done. It's your first time. It's your first time getting that far. That's exciting. Well done, everybody. What's a glare? I need a dictionary. Are you... I mean, I think whether you're on a phone or on a computer, you have a dictionary at your fingertips. A preparation made from egg white, especially as an adhesive for bookbinding. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very hilarious. Dodger, what is this hilarious goof 'em up you're doing? I don't know. I never really know. All right. Let's get this shit open. The Spider of Lanka. I'm very excited. Okie doke. So, This is not the base game Case of the Golden Idol. We have played all of that. I highly recommend it. It is probably one of the best puzzle games I've ever played in my life. It's fantastic. It was like one of those rare games where I finished it and was like, fuck, I wish I could forget this game and just play it all over again. The same way that I felt when I played Obra Dinn. But they have DLC. It just came out last week, so we're going to be playing it. I did get the code for this for free, so thank you very much, devs, for that. I'm just jazzed. I'm just jazzed to try this out. A lot of people were saying there's only 3 sections of this one, so it is doable in the time that we have. Probably not. We're probably not going to finish it, but we're going to do our best. Let's go. Golden Idol Mysteries, The Spider of Lanka. I like this because this implies to me that they're just going to keep making more of these and putting them out. Love it. The Overly Enthusiastic Card Game Tournament in the Yellow Lily. Okay, now I need to remember how this game works. This clue's been added to the thinking panel. Okay. Clean dagger. This man is not breathing. Yellow rosette. Almost empty flask of rum. Clean Navajo knife. Oberon wants to embarrass himself again. Round up Sri and Reuben from the ship. Meet at the Yellow Lily at around 10. Chakram throwing blades. A sword. A blue rosette. This man is not breathing. A Qatar blade. Okay. This man is not breathing. A long rapier is stabbed in his back. Half-empty flask of rum. Necklace of human ears. A loaded pistol. This time I will beat you in Pajak. Get your crew and we shall play in the 8-player tournament at the Yellow Lily. Oberon. A big, slightly bloody knife. And a blue rosette. Let me know if the audio is too loud or not loud enough or whatever. All that good shit. I'm gonna try to make it so I'm not in the way. I can be just a weird, dirty little secret off in the corner. Alright, let's see. Okay, more of this. Tournament card. Carlos Luna. Oberon Geller. Sri Thason. Pangela Senevi. Ruben Hendricks. Gabriel Hubert. Bill Price. Zubiri Kara. Okay. This man is asleep and appears to be completely drunk. June 8th, 1741. It is crucial to our operations in the South Seas to secure trading fortresses in the Lanka archipelago. Regrettably, Lemuria continues to object to it and advises the local rulers against our presence. The Lemurians cannot project their power directly, but they still have the spiritual authority in the Lankan kingdoms. In the Lankan kingdoms, which used to belong to the now crumbled Lemurian Empire. The Lemurian influence on Lanka must be broken. Cooperate with our agents in the region. In particular, mage, widower, and doctor could prove useful. Remember that your reward for a job well done will be enormous. When drawing lots for match pairings, arrange it so the newcomer plays against the best player here. He wants to test his skills. Clean sword. A stiletto with a clean blade. Yellow rosette. Flask of rum. Okay. This man's not breathing. A knife. A dagger. A stiletto with a clean blade. And another blue rosette. This man's not breathing. He has a harpoon sticking out of him. A huge bloody mace. My strong friend. Join me tonight for the Pajak tournament at the Yellow Lily. Bill will be present. So long as he wins, however, he does not become crazed. Please bring Gabriel as a precautionary measure should Bill lose his temper. From Oberon. Wait, did I click everything? Yeah. Yellow Lily house card rules. Broke something, pay for it. Too drunk to play, get out. Lost all your money, game over. Someone cheated, sort it yourself. The management accepts no liability if you decide to play against Bill! Oh my god, okay. Interesting. Okay, who are these guys? What in the blazes? They're all dead! Thank you for saving my life, kind sir. My dear Zubiri, upon my arrival in just a few days, we will depart Jampooper together. While you await me, I beg you continue to apply yourself to your studies. As Lemurians, we may be held in high regard in Lanka, but we must not become careless and besmirch the Kara family name. Are you skilled at Pajak? Test yourself and win money in this grand tournament, June 11th at sundown at the port in the Yellow Lily. Let us leave this unsavory watering hole. You do not appear to have sustained any serious injury. Perhaps a stiff drink will help settle your nerves. A surgical kit. Oh my god, there's so many words down here. A gun. A loaded pistol and an empty pistol. Their faces moving in these is new, isn't it? Dr. Oberon Geller. Surgeon and hypnotherapist. Oberon's the one who, like, sent all those messages, though. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at our shit. Okay, so this is Oberon Geller. Who killed who chronologically? Oh my god. A Pajak game. Order the Pajak cards starting with the strongest and ending with the weakest. Oh my god. Okay. Lost a Pajak game. I need to figure out who all these people are. Okay, hold on. Zubiri. And Zubiri Kara. This is Zubiri Kara. When drawing lots for match pairings, arrange it so the newcomer plays against the best player here. He wants to test his skills. Is Zubiri the newcomer? I assume so. Arrange it so Zubiri plays against the best player, which would be Bill, I think. Okay, he was killed by him. Is this Bill? Quartermaster, this time I will beat you in Pajak. Get your crew. We shall play in the 8-player tournament at the Yellow Lily. Oberon. What did you have? You threw that at him. Join me tonight for the Pajak tournament. Bill will be present. So long as he wins, he does not become crazed. Please bring Gabriel as a precautionary measure. Is this Gabriel? Oberon wants to embarrass himself again. Round up Sri and Reuben from the ship. Meet at the Yellow Lily. Yeah, FYI, for anybody who isn't typically here when we do like puzzly games, I do not want help. I don't want help. I definitely don't want help. If you want to talk about either what you know to be or what you think to be the answer to things, we have a channel in our Discord called the Spoiler Void, and it's literally for that. You can go in there and talk about whatever, and it'll be totally fine. But if you talk about like what you think the answer is to things in here, you'll get timed out.
Because that is what I've asked them to do.
Quartermaster. This is not Bill. Roundup Street and Reuben. It is crucial to our operations in the South Seas to secure trading fortresses in the Lanka archipelago. Lemuria continues to object to it and advises the local rulers against our presence. The Lemurians cannot project their power directly. They still have the spiritual authority in the Lankan kingdoms. The Lemurian influence on Lanka must be broken. Cooperate with our agents in the region. In particular, Mage, Widower, and Doctor could prove useful. This Oberon is a doctor. We do know that. Apply yourself to your studies. We may be held in high regard in Lanka, but we must not become careless and besmirch the family name. Sent June 10th, June 11th. Surgeon and hypnotherapist. Okay. This person was blue. This person was yellow. I don't know how I'm supposed to tell who won is the thing. Oh, there's dubs here. Okay, we can't see that one. There's nothing on that one. And there's nothing on this one. Okay, this is the only one. Okay. Okay. So, B beats P. C beats 2 A's. And B beats A. Peasant, boar, archer, centaur. Peasant, boar, archer, centaur? Okay. So now I guess I'll be able to figure out who won what. So he was told, what again? So the newcomer plays against the best player. which would be Bill, right? So, yellow one, yellow one, yellow one. So yellow one across the board here, which might have been him. So he might have been here, and he was here. One lost. So yellow one here as well, which was him. Yellow, blue, blue. So blue one here. I think there's like something here that I am missing. So one of these guys is Bill. This guy... This guy is not Gabriel. Oberon wants to embarrass himself again. Quartermaster. That's him. Okay, the quartermaster... They didn't play against each other, though. Oberon sent the message to him. Please bring Gabriel as a precautionary measure should Bill lose his temper. So who was Gabriel? So he shot him. That might have been the last thing that happened, though. He bashed him. He threw a thing at him. He's asleep. He's fine. Who had this sword? A long rapier is in his back. But who had the rapier? He shot a gun. He didn't use the rapier. The management accepts no liability if you decide to play against Bill. Who is Bill? This shows. Oh my god. Okay. I should be able to figure it out from this. Goodness gracious. Okay. 2 wins and a loss was this one, I think? No. This one? 2 wins and a loss on yellow's end. So yellow won. Ruben Hendricks was this guy. Okay. All right. Ruben Hendricks, and he played against Gabriel Hubert, who is this guy, I guess. Unless this stuff is all jumbled, but okay. And then with win-win. Wait, that's also a win-win-lose? Wait a second. Oh no! Nope, I did this wrong. Read it wrong. Bought myself boba to try and fix the last boba situation where the boba was not good. Win, win, lose. That's this one. You are Ruben Hendricks. God. Okay. You are Ruben. And then I think this guy is Gabriel Hubert. Was that the name? Yeah, Gabriel Hubert. Is this guy, I think. So this table was win, lose, lose. So, Sri Thason. Yes. Sri Thagson. My bad. And Sri played against Pangela Senevi. Okay. And he played against Bill. This is Bill. And Carlos Luna. Is that the other guy? Yeah. Nice. Got it. What is the objective here? Reconstruct the scene. Yes, so that's the whole game, is you're given a scene, and you can click on everything, and you have to fill in the blanks. And each one has its own, like, set of stuff to fill in. And it gets progressively harder in the base game to figure out, like, what exactly is going on. You'll have multiple rooms to look at and things. So yeah, so we're filling in things as we go. Each block, when it's filled in correctly, will say, like, you're good, everything's done, which is also very nice and helpful. Okay, we're gonna consolidate a bit here. Okay. That cheated. So he tried to take his ear, maybe? Oh yeah, it looks like it. thought Zubiri had cheated. So he tried to take his ear. God, is it really just these same names repeated? Yeah, okay. Bill Price lost a project game to Zubiri Kara. Bill Price thought Zubiri Kara had cheated, so he tried to take Zubiri Kara's ear. All right, so who killed who chronologically? Goodness gracious. Who killed who chronologically? I guess this is a hint. Kind of. Bill Price was killed last, it looks like, because their game was unranked. But who killed him? That's the thing I'm not sure about. Who had a rapier? Well, he had to get killed after he killed him. Actually, he might have been the one with the rapier. Hold on. If he got up to cut his ear and he stabbed him for some reason, bring Gabriel. Yeah. Bring Gabriel as a precautionary measure should Bill lose his temper. Gabriel's the one who stabbed him. Gabriel stabbed him. That must have been first. With the rapier to Bill Price. And then Sri... What are these called? Chakram. Gabriel. And then Pendula. Swung his mace at Sri. This is so silly. Carlos threw a harpoon at Pendula. And then Oberon shot Carlos with a pistol. Fantastic. All right, I'm grabbing my boba. Alrighty. I'm planning out making myself a bunch of, both of us, but we're gonna make a bunch of like lunches and things to take with us to work. So I'm living large until then. Let's go. Please be good. Much better. The young Lemurian Zubiri Kara, bored of his studies, went to the Yellow Lily to participate in a project tournament. He played against the skilled but hot-headed quartermaster Bill Price and won. Bill, incredulous that he could have lost to a newcomer, accused Zubiri of cheating and tried to take his ear. Today is the most important day in your life, children. You will meet a Lemurian saint and other powerful people. The unfortunate accident at the Raja's court. Alrighty. Keep your mouth shut. Your father committed a murder and cannot be forgiven. Undoubtedly, His Highness will demand your life. Position guards outside the chamber of trials during the test in the morning. Only my children and the priest must be allowed. The priest forbids the presence of any Westerners during the ritual. We do not wish to insult a man of the Seven Seas Company. Entertain Albert Cloudsley by showing him the gardens during the ceremony. Meanwhile, allow nobody to enter the ritual hall except me, my children, the Lemurian delegation, and our noble blade master. There's this guy. I did not expect my first Seven Seas assignment to conclude so shockingly. No wonder these savage countries need to be civilized. Yikes. Albert. We must strengthen relations with Abhaya the Radiant in order to establish a trading outpost in Lanka and bring these 4 locally produced pigments to Europe. Usharik, produced in mines filled with toxic gas. Aphid, gathered from silverback piranha-infested lakes. Lagua, harvested from the nesting crickets. Sector, gathered from the sector spiders. Our cultural tolerance department has provided a gift. A statue appropriate to these devil-worshipping societies, Jesus. Find out if they appreciate it. Consider pretending to be a devil worshipper, too. Okay, interesting. Seven Seas Company Associate Travel Guide. On the island of Lanka, as with many other former colonies of the Lemurian Empire, the lingua franca is Common Lemurian. This is an example of Common Lemurian script. Note that the honorific master is followed by the surname. For the last century, the island of Lanka has been divided in 3 kingdoms, each named by their ruler's family. Jaffna, Gemini, Vijaya. Each kingdom is ruled by a Raja who subjugates the peasantry, enabling the cheap production of cloth, pigments, and spices. Did he draw this because he doesn't know how to communicate with them? Albert! I will not be able to accompany you on your first Seven Seas mission. A pressing matter requires my attention. Ignore whatever rubbish Central Office has suggested. Befriend Putra. He has the Raja's ear. When you arrive, place the gift in the location as instructed on the wrapping paper. It's meant to be a surprise. Don't worry, young Lemurian. If it's meant for you to die today, it will be by my hand and swift. I have killed many people for the right and wrong reasons. Such is the Dharma of the warrior. My tiger. Have you found anything that might help me earn my rightful title? Then you can be by my side forever. Leave it in the bush by the pyre. The insufferable Putra and his dogs search our things regularly. We must be careful. Your moonlight and soon your queen. Cease to request that we meet. You know it is unwise. Venerable Yupik's watchful eyes notice everything. He is your father, and you know his character. He will not tolerate such transgression. I am a mere servant and must know my place. I can never be part of Kara family. Ari. My goodness, it's so salacious, all of this. Not to blame for my father's deceptions. May you travel from darkness to light, from death to immortality, dear sister. Death is a mere illusion that appears to those who cannot grasp absolute reality. Tomorrow is the great day. The ritual hall will be opened, and Anula and I will be evaluated. May light guide my sister in the test. She is worthy of the title. If fate judges me to be the one, I am ready to undergo the journey through the blade to the sun and back again to claim my birthright. People of Albion, despite their name, the Infernal Guard are dedicated to a noble cause, fighting fire. Yelling to clear the way, they hurry to the place of ordeal to do their unenviable job. The guards do not feel fear and smirk at things that would be agony to commoners. They bravely step into the infernal limbo and do their duty. Challenges they face are like lava and obstacles, can be ominous and during the nights even otherworldly, but inattentiveness is a swift killer. Ignited with bravery, they step into the nightmares. Their burden is monstrous. They yell commands, already fatigued. If accidents can cause such misery, intentional cases are more odious. The men, unclean and tired, run to the place of terror to face whatever horror awaits. Do your language practice while observing the Seven Seas Company gift to Raja. Did not get precise answers. Rotate the line every fourth, same color, circle, circle, square. The number of horizontal lines multiplied by 6. It's easy, just look carefully. Best way to learn this language is by looking at the Seven Seas Company gift to the Raja. Tomorrow's a big day. My heart trembles with anticipation. If Tissa passes the test, I will not feel I have failed. I will witness his ritual of blade with joy in my heart. None is braver and wiser and worthier than him to inherit father's responsibilities. If I happen to be picked, I will bow my head in humble appreciation of this great honor. The wooden apron and clothing beneath it have been slashed. There's a mixture of blood and red paint. A stiff, ornamented apron made of wood. The woman has a huge wound across her abdomen. Beneath an apron, she is not breathing. Okay. Small spider, a scorpion, a beetle, a cricket, a centipede. Okay. Sector spider, feed only twice a week. Chimerian scorpion, a quick and painful death. Plain beetle, the merciful killer, like falling asleep. Legion centipede, after death, victim's body bloats like a balloon. Nesting cricket, bite stops heart quickly. Wear yellow in the evenings. Do not mourn the black ocelot. Be untamed and forget your worries. Do dream of green wilderness. Gift your guests impulsive gifts. Release your inner lion when in doubt, for this leap is the hardest landing. Beast of honor is a rare sight. Disrespect emperor and fall like a leaf. A hunter enjoys the morning sun. Eat breakfast, sing poems. Do not trust your servant. Trust your instinct. On your last day, roar at the sky. We found this poem and picture in the palace garbage. Picture is the key. This was not hard to decode, but the method is curious. You will be heir. A bottle of black substance labeled Sector Ink. Dear Putra, I did my best to seduce that Lemurian servant girl from Sukera family so we could obtain successful results for the young prince in the test. Surprisingly, she was not charmed by my advances. I do not know what is wrong with her. Jaya, Lankapur. Okay. Ah, it's this guy. He's the guy. Magnificent Raja, I accept your invitation to facilitate the test and the initiation. Our delegation will arrive with the necessary equipment at the start of November. Regarding the Westerners, you already know that we strongly advise against trading with them. They do not understand the importance of Lemurian tradition. Their ways are impure. From High Priest Kara clan. Bottle of blue substance, labeled Lagua ink. Your Magnificence, some encoded correspondence is being exchanged between someone at the palace and somebody else. I do not like it. My spies are working overtime to discover who is behind this. I believe it is safe for your children to undergo the test and for the chosen one to go through the rites of rebirth. The Lemurian saint confirms that the ritual is the same as when you were sworn in when you came of age. By day's end, you will have your heir, your highness, from Master Sun. Okay. For sharing the secret, I will allow your Zubiri to live, but he must join me on the journey as insurance for your honesty. You are free to leave with your delegation. Rings and a Qatar blade. Okay. You wanted life for life. Most radiant, magnificent Raja. Has this information satisfied your needs? Okay, I'm still missing a lot of stuff. Interesting. Is there another spot that I'm not seeing to go to? Oh, here we go. This clue's been added. Oh god. Okay. Usharic ink. Throw me in the eye. Throw me in the eye? Oh gosh. The woman is not breathing. Dear Diary, but I believe I've finally found love after all these years. I wonder if I can leave my servitude and marry this brave fighter. The poor boy will be heartbroken, but he should have understood a long time ago I have no interest in him. My tender petal, I spend my nights restlessly thinking about your sweet lips and eyes. Let us meet again at midnight on November 12th in the Orchid Garden. We can have privacy to share love and secrets. Your warrior, Jayan. The hall will be unlocked the morning they take the test. When the winner is revealed, we will lock it again. The evening before the ritual, lock yourself inside, set everything up. Remember to prepare the apron for the one who succeeds. The red paint is in the vase. Yikes, dude. Okay. During the testing procedure in the morning, the Lemurian priest and the potential heirs. I didn't know I could zoom in on stuff. Hi, Joe! Okay, so she was chosen as heir, but got sliced up. We have everything now. Oh my god. Okay, so whose was whose, I guess is the question. Okay. We need to figure out their names. The number of horizontal lines multiplied by 6. So she filled in this one. But what are their fucking names? Dismiss. Okay, so their messages are also in code, I guess. Oh, hold on. Sector Inc. Black. Okay. Who has the blue ink? Is she Ari? I think she might be. We know that this is Zubiri. This is the Raja. I don't know if we know what the Raja's name is. This is the same color of ink as what she had. Only my children and the priest must be allowed in there. Wait! It's his! Aqua ink. Okay, so it's none of those, I guess. I'll allow your Zubiri to live. Correspondence is being exchanged between someone at the palace and somebody else. Abhaya the Radiant. Albert. This is Albert Cloudsley. Lagua, harvested from the nesting crickets. I'll be able to accompany you. Ignore whatever rubbish Central Office has suggested. Befriend Putra. He has the Raja's ear. When you arrive, place the gift in the location as instructed. It's meant to be a surprise. For the last century, the island of Lanka has been divided in 3 kingdoms, each named by their ruler's family. Jaffna, Gemini, and Vijaya. So they're gonna be one of these. Oh my god. Okay, so if south is over there, I guess, then we're north. So we're Gamini? Maybe? Oh my god. Yeah, because we can see that in the distance. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think we're here. I think this is us. This guy's got the key. Your father committed a murder. This is the statue. This is the thing that we brought. Yikes. Anula and I will be evaluated. Okay. Anula Gamini. And then who's this other guy? Tissa. All right. Okay. We've got one thing done. Okay. Anula and Tissa. And this is somebody. This, I'm pretty sure, is Ari. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. The best way to learn this language is looking at the Seven Seas Company's gift to the Raja. Right. I guess it wasn't super obvious how they were choosing each word, though. They both have different messages. But I'm not sure how to read the messages. Okay, and then this lady... You're a warrior giant. Leave it in the bush by the pyre. You can be by my side forever. Zubiri. Oh, that's his dad. Or no, wait. I will allow your Zubiri to live. Wait. This can't be his dad. He's just chilling with this guy. But they think that he killed the... Wait a second. Position guards outside the chamber of trials during the test. Only my children and the priest must be allowed. The priest forbids the presence of Westerners, but we do not wish to insult a man of the Seven Seas Company. Entertain Albert Cloudsley, Esquire, by showing him the gardens during the ceremony. Meanwhile, allow nobody to enter the ritual hall except me, my children, the delegation, and our noble blade master. Strengthen relations with Abhaya. This might be Abhaya. What was his last name? Zubiri Kara? Yeah, Zubiri Kara. Yupik Kara. If that's who this is. Which it seems like it's the only person it could be. This guy's referred to himself as a warrior twice now. No, it was not. Oh, it was. Okay, hold on. I can leave my servitude and marry this brave fighter. The poor boy will be heartbroken, but he should have understood a long time ago I have no interest in him. The hall will be unlocked the morning they take the test. When the winner is revealed, we'll lock it again. The evening before the ritual, lock yourself inside and set everything up. Prepare the apron for the one who succeeds. The red paint is in the vase. What is this man doing? What is this man trying to do here? I didn't get at all how the words were picked on the other one, and the text said it was easy. Ooh. Throw me in the eye is what that looks like, right? Marian delegation. Marian priest. Interesting. So you're supposed to die in this, but you're supposed to then come back. And she didn't. Blade Master, Spy Master, Abhaya. In which case, Sun is part of this person's name, or it's this person's name. Look up her. I can put these away, I think. I don't need these, I'm pretty sure. And those for Jaffna and Vijaya. We don't need, I don't think. So Putra and Sukera, where did we find those names? The insufferable Putra has his dogs search our things regularly. Putra's son, maybe? And Jijayan? 2 or fewer slots are incorrect. There we go. Okay, Jayan G. Putra's son. So then Ari Sukera. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. We're getting there, gang. Consists of Spy Master. Wait, what? Oh. Oh. No. Okay. Like, who is in the delegation? There's 3 people. Is it these 3 people? No.
Oops. Using a... Okay, hold on.
Oh, I did my best to seduce the servant girl from the Sukera family so we could obtain successful results. Right, okay. Yeah. Putra's ink is black. This was not hard to decode. That's what's killing me. The picture is the key, right? Is it like words that have to do with the animal? That's all I can think of. Okay, hold on. What is yours? There's no picture! Is it always a lion? Infernal fighting if... If you fail in my... I'm not sure what this one is. Look, maybe? Look. If you fail, look in my... mouth? Oh my god.
If you fail, look in my mouth. Holy shit. Which he found in the mouth. What's in her mouth? Wait, no. Who said this to him? If you fail, look in my mouth. Okay. In the mouth of the... Oh my god. In the mouth of the devil? In the mouth of the statue? Oh. Sorry, I'm getting all wrapped up. Okay. If you... Wait, is it the same? Are they the same? They are the same. Why did I not think they were the same? If you fail, look in my mouth. Delivered by this fucking guy. No, because that doesn't make sense. Killed Ari? No, because she got crushed, right? She got crushed by the thing, that's why. Oh, wait, no. I'm realizing, I think she's meant to be in there, because her job is to, like, lower... Because their tummy isn't supposed to actually get slashed, right? They put the red paint on it, and then it looks like they got slashed and then came back to life, but it's all like an act. So she was meant to be alive in there and do the thing. So Tissa killed Ari. Using what? The cricket? Oh yeah, they did mention the cricket, didn't they? Young Prince Tissa failed to pass the Lemurian test to become an heir. As advised by a secret correspondent, he took receipt of a bottle containing a deadly insect along with the instructions delivered by Albert Cloudsley. Before the ritual, Tissa threw the bottle into the machine and murdered the Lemurian servant Ari. She could not lower Princess Anula, and the princess died. Right, but what's this? No, because it's meant to be. Lemurian delegation. The royal family are separate from delegation. They're Lemurians, right? They don't care what order you put stuff in, I'm pretty sure. Okay, great. Okay. Done. This must be the place. Play Patrick. Okay, I don't think we'll get this done quickly enough, but we can take a gander at it. In the web of the spider. Alright, let's see. Thought you could fool me, spider. I've captured you, and now you will answer for the death of the princess. Ilara's son and Valdar Lanyasina will hide in the boats and guard the second entrance. There's a hatch here. I will approach the front door with Jemadar Ilarasina and Havalar Kirti Bandara. The ambush of the spider. The front door. Okay. Master Putra's son, I have already shared my suspicions about the disaster of the rebirth ritual. He is one of the shareholders of Titania Printing House, but my honor does not allow me to reveal his name. He goes by the name of Spider. I plan to meet him at the printing house on November 22nd. Let me settle my private matter with him first, and then he's all yours. Hot damn. Oh, we've got deets on everybody. He is the spy master, after all. Sent by the Seven Seas Company head of office to establish new trading posts in Lanka, dangerous and arrogant. Cannot be bothered to learn the basics of common Lemurian to improve his situation here. Narcissus Montalban. In his own words, married to alchemy. Claims to be 1,000 years old. Incredible. Natural philosopher, alchemist, and astrologer. Banished from the Society of Hermetic Thought for revealing their secrets. Claims to be able to switch someone's life off. Several philosophers who had conflicts with him died from unexplained causes. Very curious. These are all 5 shareholders of Titania Printing House. All of them are affiliated with the Seven Seas Company. Have a good hunt. I hope you will arrest the bastard. Claude Devereaux. An Aquitanian marquis. Despite his stature, he is a master swordsman, has killed at least 7 people in duels, was subsequently banished from Aquitania. Wears expensive clothing, afraid of heights, may attack without provocation, extremely dangerous. Oberon, our buddy. He looks like that Carl meme from Aquitaine. That's the face. Has concealed for the last 5 years that he has a Lankan mistress. A surgeon hypnotherapist, probably an agent of the Seven Seas Company, has connections to the underworld and is well respected among pirates for providing medical services to their people. Curious about Lankan and Lemurian culture. Charming charlatan who avoids damaging his own reputation. Somewhat dangerous. Reuben Hendricks, we also saw him. Shipwright, former carpenter on the pirate ship Rabid Raccoon, has a wooden leg, pretends to be drunk and quiet when it benefits him. Steals and has instigated riots, made a fortune in Pajak, which makes me wonder if he hides cards in his leg. Somewhat dangerous. Okay. You thought that disguise would have saved you. No luck for you, spider. Oh. Tonight during the operation, we will practice an old Lankan code. Imagine what number the picture represents. In the sentence, count to the word matching that number. Imagine what number the picture represents. So follow me. Okay. He appears not to be armed. We just searched him. It's hard to understand him. The mask is muffling his voice. Insolence, blasphemy. Literally wearing a PTH robe. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Red footprints. Okay. Oh god. Okay. A large cloak. Basket maximum load, 4 vases. Okay. Man is not breathing. Good to know. Imagine what number the picture represents. Guard. Front door. Neat. Titania Printing House. One of the masks is missing. Cool. Okay, we're down here, so it's like 8 o'clock-ish, I guess is what that's trying to tell me. Educational pictures for Little Putra by Spider. Okay. They've forced my hand with their conservative stubbornness. I will not let these old mystics sabotage the Seven Seas Company needs. It's time to invest in some creative research and see if I can find more about their secretive rituals that make them tick. What a peculiar principle, life for life. If you do something good or bad to Lemurian, he is obliged to return the same amount back. Is it really that black and white, or is there diplomacy leeway? More and more evidence has led me to believe that the Lankan legend about the Fountain of Youth on a secret island and the rumors about the forbidden golden idol refer to the same thing. Lemurians are extremely skeptical about their technological past. The topic is completely taboo in their society, which could be related to the downfall of the Empire. They're reluctant to reveal the locations of their ancient technologies. Maybe in the future I can acquire some leverage. These old Lemurians are impenetrable. My spies report that a young Lemurian, Zubiri Kara, has arrived in the city. He's the son of the Lemurian priest, Yupik Kara. He probably does not know much about their old culture, but apparently has amazing Pajak skills. Meeting with the nephew of the bookworm. Pick up the pistol from the repairman. Buy supplies for the boat trip. Meeting with the double widower. Rehearse the escape plan. Meet with the money bag. Meet with the old butterfly. Meet with the green boy. I'm ready to settle my debt. I will arrive on Friday at the time you specified. Please be alone. Common guards, cuts, and master strikes with the longsword. Guards will attack after Lemurian leaves. Okay. Cute. Cute hats. Cute hats, everybody. Okay. What's in the thinking box? Oh no. What the fuck? Oh god. Not Zubiri. Yupikara. The spider. I don't think concealed is the right word, but ambush isn't right. Switch. He saved Zubiri Kara's life. Okay. Spider created a situation where he saved Zubiri Kara's life. Therefore, Zubiri Kara revealed the secret of the rebirth ritual to the spider. To help the Seven Seas Company, the spider... concealed... well, Yeah, I guess I can still pull those. Okay, what did this say? Right, so this butterfly is Zubiri, the spider. The spider, Albert Cloudsley, and Eupicara. Eupicara? Yeah, right? Rebirth Ritual. Zubiri-Kara. And Eupicara, I think. Yeah. Concealed. Oops. Oh my god, where did it go? Eupicaras. Sabotage. No. I have to pee so bad, but I'm like about to end stream, so like. This is a Havildar. But I don't think we have a word for that. Havildar Kirthi Bandara. Timely specified. Rehearse the escape plan. Meet with the double widower. Oops. That's what it looks like. Which one is the double widower? You? Yeah. Claude Davereau. Is that who this is? No. Unless Oberon is wrong. I have to pee so bad. Hold on. Just really... God. Just really quick. Super quick. Okay, peed, washed hands. I did it all. All right. We've got 5 minutes. Let's go. Okay. To help the Seven Seas Company, the spider concealed the cricket in the mouth of the statue, right? Instigated the sabotage of the rebirth ritual, maybe? But Yupikara settled it when he revealed the location. Of the golden idol. Okay. The spider had concealed, I assume, Yupikara. They're obviously working together. Yupikara's saved? No. Maybe this is wrong. This means the spider has to be Oberon. The spider created a situation where he saved Zubiri Kara's life. That is Oberon. That's what was established in the very first story. We know this is Kirthi Bandara. So who the fuck is this? According to the docket, met with the double widower, who is Claude Davreau, but that's not Claude. Guards will attack after Lemurian leaves. So, which one? None of them are Lemurian, though. None of these guys. Siva Urawate. After the Lemurian leaves. Will not let these old mystics sabotage the Seven Seas Company needs. At 12 o'clock, it's 8 p.m. At 1 o'clock, it's 8 a.m. Oh, I see. Okay, so if we're at... So it's like 5 o'clock right now? The nephew of the bookworm. The nephew of the bookworm. Oh, it might be. Siva. Maybe. No, it's time for me to go. I have to go. Fuck. All right. I'm going to... We'll finish the rest of this tomorrow before we do the other game because it's... We got further along in this than I expected. I thought that we were probably not even going to get to the third scenario. But I'm kind of a god gamer, so it went faster than I expected. Here. Exit. Yes, get me out of here. Okay. Fantastic. Yes, yes. Yes, indeed. Hey! Thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, we have no Hellions tonight. We don't have Hellions for the next couple of weeks. Some personal stuff has been going on with members of the cast. So nothing for 2 weeks. But there will be a sponsored thing happening, I think, on Wednesday, but I don't know exactly what time because it's potentially a co-op thing with Sam. So that could interfere with me being on the fishing thing. I'm gonna sort that out tonight with Sam, and then I'll update the schedule and we'll swap that over. But for now, let's read off our activity feed and then I'll get going. Boopity 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 boop. Fantastic. Duanico, thank you for the 29 months. Crabat for the 44. Jesse Bean for the 6. Vexel for the 22. Crazy C for the 45. Leandro for the 53. Philipper for the 76. Missy for the 39. Krendall for the 108. 9 years! Happy anniversary! Thank you very much for the 9 years. Oh my gosh, I think that's the second one of those I've seen. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Xander Prime, thank you for the 47. Lemmy for the 92. Caprica Swiss for the 45. Cheshire Pierrot for the 71. Lepa for the 89. Kilia for the 35. Grace Me for the 35 as well. Mrs. Musica for the 31. Stale Mercury for the 90. And Dorian for the 79.
Thanks, guys. Beep boop beep boop 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 beep boop. Beep boop beep 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 boop boop. Boppity bop ba da bop.
Ha. Who do we want to say hi to today? Let's go see what Lana Lux is doing. She does game dev live. It's fun. So go say hi, spread love, spread joy. I'll see you guys around. Again, nothing going on tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Cassette Beasts, which is apparently fantastic. So I'm excited to check it out. I'll see you guys there. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.